Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. Today we're going to be making a special cookie recipe. It's called jam croissant / finger cookies. These are a bit of an old-fashioned recipe that's made with pretty simple ingredients. I think you're going to enjoy this one, so stay tuned. Right after this ad, we'll get right to making it. My first cookbook is available on Amazon, and I've provided a quick link in the description below this video. Alright, so let's get right to making today's featured recipe. Start by placing 2/3 of a cup of butter into a large mixing bowl. Then add half a cup of sour cream. Next, you'll add 2 large egg yolks. And of course I like to use my mixer, so I put the paddle attachment on and give that a good mix until it's well combined. Add 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and also 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then go ahead and add about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. Then mix that until it's really well combined. And you'll end up with a soft dough like this. Now, because this is a bit of a soft dough, I roll it out between 2 pieces of parchment paper. I also spread a little bit of flour on that parchment paper to help keep it from sticking. So just start by spooning some of the batter onto the parchment paper. And this is a fairly versatile dough, so we're going to make 2 types of cookies with this today. And when you're rolling it out, it will need to be in a complete circle. It's kind of difficult to do that just by rolling it. So I roll it out and then I cut it out into circle shapes using a bowl. And just trim off the excess and roll it out later. So I use a light sprinkle of flour on it once again just to keep it from sticking, depending on the size of your cookies, but you go ahead and cut it into pie shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this into 6. My circle is probably about 9 inches across. Now I place them on a plate and place them in the freezer just to have them set a little bit, and it's easier to work with them. And then I take it out of the freezer, place it on some parchment paper on a cookie sheet, and then you place a little bit of jam just on the outer edge. I'm using seedless raspberry jam and strawberry jam today, but any flavor of jam would work well for this. So when you roll it up to make it look like a croissant, you go ahead and roll it from the wide end to the small end and leave the small end underneath. You've probably noticed that you just do it lightly. You don't squeeze it too hard, just do a light touch and it works better. Okay, so for the final touch, we'll sprinkle some white sugar over the top. Now place your cookies in a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes or so. And you'll know these are done when they're lightly brown underneath. They will not be browned on top. So while those are baking in the oven, we'll go ahead and roll out some of the rest of the dough. And I'm going to show you how to do a finger cookie with this dough. So yes, as you can see, you go ahead and roll it out again and just cut it into circles or whatever shapes you want. And parchment paper is your best friend for soft dough cookies like this. Now then, the cookies are still a little bit close together, so because I don't want them to bake and stick together, I just cut them apart and place them on a cookie sheet, however, and just place them far enough apart that they have room to rise. You can call these what you want, but they're finger cookies because you put your finger in the middle to make a little indent and then fill it with jam. Some people call these thimble cookies, but these today are finger cookies. Anyway, the other cookies are done now, you can see, and so we'll exchange that and put these ones in the oven and get them to bake, and they'll take roughly the same time, at the same temperature of course. And it always helps to put your cookies on a wire rack to cool. So this recipe will make probably between 2 and 3 dozen cookies, depending on the size and shape that you're doing it. So if you wanted more than that, it would be easy to double the recipe. These keep well in an airtight container at room temperature for a few days, or they freeze well as well. And they're really nice cookies to take on a lunch, and they have a pleasant mellow flavor, so they're a really good snacking cookie. And like I said, they'll be lightly golden underneath like this. So it's easy to platter these and make it look like you've got two different types of cookies when you just use one recipe to do it. Thank you for watching today's video. For your subscriptions, your comments in the comment section, and until next time, happy eating!